there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
I'm Sarah Richardson. This is Eva and Patrick. This is their kitchen. This is Eva and Patrick's new open-plan kitchen dining room, thanks to lots of help from Design Inc. Eva is a new mom in an older home about to go through her first renovation. Our job is to create a simple, functional, family-friendly kitchen without sacrificing style. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
All that Eva's told me so far is that she doesn't want beige. When you bought the house, were you planning on renovating it, or is it something that you figured out since you got here?
We definitely thought we'd need to redo the kitchen.
Eva's always planned on doing it.
You just weren't so sure about
She didn't
it?
think of me so soon.
Okay.
I think a big section over there is sort of misused where the stairs are.
Right.
I'd like to kind of utilize that space and maybe find a different place for our stairs.
Okay.
The kitchen itself, everything, the countertops, the cupboards, the lighting, all of it. We just don't like any of it.
This is just getting bigger and bigger.
Like our little sink here, it just leaks all the time. A little Barbie oven, it's the smallest oven I've ever
even
seen
put a
in
roast
my
beef in
life. So things like that, we just need this whole area addressed.
That sounds like more than just not beige to me. How are we going to move forward? This seems a bit
Odd.
They were much shorter back then.
If you eliminate this staircase, this can all drop back down.
Right.
Then you. The truth is, the kitchen is just half of the equation. We're also looking for ways to connect the space with the adjacent dining room.
We love our dining room, we just don't know if that's the best use of space in the house.
If you took the wall out completely, you're going to lose a whole lot of cabinetry.
Right.
Yep.
You could take it all out and put in an island, but you might get more storage on both sides if you did a peninsula. What about a place to eat?
I think we like the idea of having a place in the kitchen where we can sit and eat without having to go to the dining room and sit down every time we want to have a meal.
Okay. Will stools address that, or do you actually need like a lower table in
We're
the kitchen?
worried about kids and stools. I
I
think.
can see that. The stool's usually here and thereabouts.
So something that accommodates the fact that we're gonna have small kids.
Let's go back in. And how do Patrick and Eva want it to look and feel? Do they share a vision? Do you guys generally agree, disagree?
I think we agree. I think
We do agree.
we like the same look for the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. Let's remember that. And what about the cracks in this beam? We've got to check that out. My gut says this is a big job. You want to relocate the stairs, then you want a door and a mudroom, and we also need a space at sort of regular table height for
The kids.
kids eating.
Right.
Okay.
No problem.
It's, yeah,
Get on that.
piece of cake.
And we've got 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, Tommy. We've got to kickstart this project pronto. Stretch to the limit. I think Tommy can handle this one too, if he measures up. It's gone too far, Tommy.
Oh my God. Well, better that than a wardrobe malfunction.
All right, Patrick. Now, for construction matters, Dean's our contractor.
I don't think it's anything major.
He hits a home run soon after arrival.
We have lots of room to put in a beam here.
Great, because then we can put lighting in
Inside
underneath
there.
here, and then
Yeah.
you keep the whole character in this room. Renovate and decorate. Eva and Patrick are jumping in feet first. And it's up to us to make this project go swimmingly.
In order for Dean to give us a bit of a quote, we've got to come up with a rough layout. That could change a little bit through the process, he said, but he just needs something to go on to give us a ballpark.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If we could do a long run of cabinetry, 3 little stools here, your countertop and your oven could be directly below it, and your dishwasher could be right here. Then you can run a long run of cabinetry the entire way, right? Work with this a little bit, and let's see how it shakes out. Layout is important, as is the overall look. A lot of decisions to make all at once. I'm thinking about putting in an onyx backsplash because we'll barely require any of it, and it'll look gorgeous when you see in from the dining room or the living room, but everything else is gonna have to be really hard-wearing and functional.
This is very sort of honeycomb, which is kind of neat.
So originally what I was talking about was doing something in the cabinetry.
Right.
Rich sort of mahogany tone. Do we do that and then have cream everywhere else? Or do we go sort of lighter tone?
A slightly
kind of
creamier.
cream tone
Sure.
and just go layered cream on cream on cream? Or do we go one step further and say, okay, well, the cabinets that are gonna be out in the dining area,
Right.
should those be in the dark? So they're way out here.
One thing that's been consistent has been the contrast between dark and white I find very striking.
And then I was thinking maybe for counters, instead of doing something like, you know, your kind of classic creme of marfil or granite, maybe you go for something like that. What?
I think it looks like cat barf.
That does not look like cat. You don't even have a cat. Do you even know what cat barf looks like? When you go show it, you
I
cannot.
promise you I won't tell her it's cat sick. That'll influence her.
Initially, that one's sort of out, just a little too, I don't know, what, pinky, reddy, whatever there. That's your favorite?
No, but I think it's Sarah's favorite.
Right now, all their walls are cream, but they've got red accents in the drapes and in some pillows and what have you. What maybe we take a stronger color and wrap it all the way across the outer wall.
Just for a little bit of punch. I think that could work.
You're okay with
Yeah,
that?
she's a smart girl.
She has
Yeah.
a future in
Yeah.
this business.
And what does our renovating couple think?
You don't like this one?
Not so much.
Why?
It looks too yellow. I think
like
this
the
one's too
plan?
yellow. It's just too sort of yellowy looking. I think we agree. I think
do agree.
we like the same look for the most part.
Yeah. All right, I'll call Tommy. We'll start over, I guess.
Eva and Patrick are wiping the slate on their kitchen and dining room.
Everything, the countertops, the cupboards, the lighting, all of it. We just don't like any of it. Okay.
We thought they were looking for lots of color.
Like, I really am so in love with the look of that.
She's a smart girl.
It's just too sort of yellowy looking.
Which brings us back to almost square one.
I think that now what we're looking at is executing a beige kitchen. And looking at it from that angle and saying, how do we get a beige kitchen to be chic and different and interesting and not boring?
Okay, for all of the fixed elements,
Yep.
we'll keep it simple, which is sort of the way we normally approach it.
Yes, absolutely.
And have all the fixed elements on a really nice, kind of calm, creamy cafe au lait, you know.
I like the sound of that.
And then say to them, okay, now we'll do what you want, but now let us have a bit of fun and let's try and push you a little bit out of your comfort zone and think about some wow accessories.
Okay.
So if
I was
say
really
that,
worried that you were going to completely lose your excitement
I was gonna-
when I said now it's a beige kitchen.
And with that, Tommy meets with Eva and Patrick at her store to push the project forward.
Like, to me right now, it looks like a very big, bold pattern that's gonna really stand out. And I just don't know that I like that.
We can commit to some sort of onyx, without a doubt, because I do think it's beautiful, and I think it can.
I quite like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's beautiful.
No, that looks great. I love that.
And
I like it a lot too.
Yeah.
I think that looks fabulous.
We do have demos starting in a couple of days.
Right.
So we should try to make our decisions in a timely manner, but I don't by any means expect you to tell me right now that this is what we're doing.
But we'll sit with it tonight, and we'll get back to you tomorrow.
You know, sometimes it takes a lot of meetings to get a project off the ground. Now it's time to get busy. There's nothing like good demolition. Dean and his crew rip this place back to a blank canvas. While they play in the dust, Tommy and I check out chairs for the new kitchen peninsula. Okay. I think that's too contemporary.
I think this one's really cute.
A little Louis, is it comfortable? Try it.
It's extremely comfortable.
Or what about this? Because you have to think about how you're going to process it from the back. Nice lattice back, and if this was dark, dark, dark stain,
I like the nail head detail.
I like the nail head too.
Traditionalizes it a little bit.
It's good because they've got the rail, right? One final option, backless, and it's just a perch.
This reads as kitchen to me, whereas that reads as dining room.
As more dining room, more chic furniture. We'll show them and see what they think.
Okay.
And what about the new cupboard doors? Is this door more expensive than this door? Same price. And how about this door?
Same price.
And how about this door?
Same price.
The bead detail will complement the bead detail that's on all the trim work in the house. So for my money, I'd go with that one. These doors cost a bit more than originally planned, but a custom kitchen can't be had for peanuts. The day they start demolition, we've already started making their kitchen more expensive. Oh, we're gonna be off.
Oh, the demolition will be so cheap. They're not gonna run into any problems. It's all gonna be just fine.
There was wires left live behind the wall. These wall sconces were like this.
Oh my
Just left open, just covered up.
This is turning into a bit of a mess.
There's a bathroom downstairs that Eva didn't want to touch.
That bathroom is a disaster.
That's gonna have to be touched.
That's not all the bad news.
After taking out the drywall, we noticed that there's no tar paper behind the insulation, so we have to take it all out. This is all mold buildup. Because if there's mold buildup here, it's gotta be all over the basement.
And the grand total?
Drywall, taping, painting, trim work. Actually, 5,000 might even be conservative.
Oh no. Okay, so before we go, we're gonna have to draw lots for who explains this to Patrick and Eva, because I don't know if I'm too excited about that.
Patrick and Eva's first ever reno is revealing some nasty surprises.
There was wires left live behind the wall.
But yeah, no, it should be like clockwork, we're thinking.
Yeah.
Because if there's mold buildup here, it's gotta be all over the basement.
How much do you think that's gonna cost?
5,000 might even be conservative.
It's a huge, huge drag.
We knew that we had some problems last winter. We had our pipes freeze on us one cold night, and so honestly, every time they tear down a wall, I'm terrified of what they're gonna find.
We now need to take a really hard look at our budget and see if there's anywhere that we can shave it down, because $5,000 has to be allocated. It's gotta come from somewhere. We've all got to be on the same page moving forward with the new plan.
Right now, I see there being some concerns with the layout. It looks a little tight in certain areas, and it is tough to look at planks on the floor and envision a countertop and cabinets and everything.
So you want to do this at 18, 16?
Would you say 18 or?
As it stands now, it's tight.
I hope we don't have to shimmy through it for the rest of our time in the house.
Well, I think I'll just come back and chalk it out, tape it out, and leave it for you to walk through it.
All right.
At the same time, we've got to find $5,000 worth of savings. Would I be better off just doing 2 doors and forget the panel?
That'll save you a bit of money too. But then again, it's a different look. It depends on the look you want.
Yeah, well, the look I want ended up being twice as much as the budget I have.
Well, if you want to eliminate the baseboard,
Now you're talking crazy talk.
but you know what? That's not a huge cost.
You have to
it's
have
not a
a
huge
baseboard.
cost. It's not a huge cost. Leave it.
Still looking for those savings.
The wainscoting, the recessed wainscoting is going to be a huge portion of savings.
Okay.
Huge. So,
Huge. Massive?
well, we're talking maybe 4 or 5 grand.
Excellent. I think we're getting back on track.
I'm feeling like even Patrick's kitchen is right off the rails right now. They're really angry that things have gotten out of control.
I think they will be pleased in the end. We just have to make sure that we help them spend their money wisely so that when they get to the end, they're not looking at a kitchen that cost them more than they could afford. You're going to be in your kitchen every day. You can't afford to feel ill about the amount of money you spent on it. We're trying our best. And you know, things always look better once new drywall goes up. I can feel the positive energy.
The drywall is up. The lighting plan looks fantastic, and I actually think that we've really finally turned a corner on that project. For the first time in weeks, I feel like we're moving forward instead of backward.
And even our clients are happy.
It's fun to see the stuff in front of the walls rather than the stuff behind the walls.
Are we having a picnic? You brought a
We're
nice
having
woolly
a
blanket.
tailgate party. Eva's kitchen, cabinetry.
Done.
I agree. Now we need to come up with a wall color
Let's do Ceylon Ivory. Let's do vanilla.
in the hallway.
And let's do pastry. Let's get 3 samples.
I'm great, how are you?
So this is option number 1 for the dining room.
Right.
This one is just slightly darker and just slightly warmer. This is to go from hallway through to the main body of the kitchen.
You like this one the most? Yeah. And then of those two, we'd like to go towards the darker.
My only concern with that color is, to me, it looks a little like peachy.
Better than yellow?
There's
From
a bit
here.
of peach from here.
I think this one's too yellow. It's just too sort of yellowy looking.
But remember that you have sort of an orangey, reddy color in your drapes.
Yeah, no, I know.
So once they're up, the peach might make more sense. I think it's good.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
About 2 weeks later, and we're in overdrive. We're pushing so hard that Dean's dragged his own dad out of retirement to help out.
He helped me out before. Now it is my turn to help him.
It's acceptable.
Not job too big, not job too small.
With the floor done, we can finally install the cupboards. This is starting to look like a kitchen.
Good.
Yet, something's not quite right. This is not, like, how am I supposed to put my faucet in here?
I don't know why this overhangs so much.
It's not supposed to overhang like that. As if that's not enough. What's this nonsense? Hi, Marco, it's Sarah. Good, how are you? I'm just over at Eva's, and we've got a couple of little problems. All the crowns and all the light valances have been installed wrong. So we need to get some new stock sprayed up and get some new spacer boxes made and be ready to reinstall these for Tuesday morning first thing. Let's see, what'll it be? Shake it, shake it, shake it. A day like this calls for something, but definitely not a power outage.
So everybody's just sort of standing around here with no power.
Eva and Patrick's kitchen reno started like any other.
Gone too far, Tony.
Oh my god. Well, better that than a wardrobe malfunction.
On a high note. But there's mold downstairs and the wrong molding upstairs. We need to get some new stock sprayed up and get some new spacer boxes made and be ready to reinstall these for Tuesday morning first thing. That said, we're determined to bring this kitchen in on our newly reduced budget.
Until the flowers are in the vase and everything is in place and the gas is connected and the oven is working and everything is perfect, I don't breathe easy.
First things first, get these cabinets dealt with.
All of them?
All of them.
Really? We're gonna redo the crown with the panel. We're gonna bring it all flush to the door and the gables.
Yeah.
We're gonna invert the light valance and bring that all flush with the gables and doors again.
Perfect.
Would you believe this kitchen is supposed to be finished tomorrow? We've got a ton to do. And no power to do it with.
You know that heat wave we've been having? Seems like it's brought along with it some rolling blackouts. So everybody's just sort of standing around here with no power.
Seems kind of dim in here.
Hey, how are you?
Look at that!
Okay.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
A little hard to do in the dark.
Eventually, the sun went down and killed all chances of getting it done. Luckily, the power has come back the very next day, and we can get Eva and Patrick's kitchen finished as we promised.
It's pretty good.
These guys are finishing up in the kitchen area, so the three of us can actually clear some of this junk out of here and blitz the dining room and get it set up. Laying rugs is the worst. I hate it.
Just as fun as it is to see walls come crashing down, it's all worth it because of times like this, the grand finale. And no, I think it should go like this. In order to have an open plan living space, you have to have one clear vision and it has to be consistent. And in this house, when we started out, I felt that the overriding theme and style was tending to be more traditional. What we wanted to do was work with all the architectural features in the house and draw that out.
One of the things that we love about the cabinetry that we've put on the dining room side of the room is that it's really kept the formal look of the dining room. It was quite a formal room before.
Does ice wine go on its side?
This is actually our first home, and this was our first real reno. And the experience was emotional. It was long, but now that you see it all done, it really, really was worth it.
No renovation is ever easy, and your first renovation will always be the most stressful and emotional. You know, the amazing thing is we came in on time and on budget after a whole lot of disasters downstairs.
Actually, 5,000 might even be conservative.
Oh no. Oh man. We actually spent a huge amount of time working with the budget in order to be able to have a look that appeared as though we'd sacrificed nothing, like beautiful crystal knobs, stone countertops, and an onyx backsplash. None of that would have happened unless we had been just, down to the wire and looking at every single penny in our cabinetry budget to make sure that we could achieve an overall finished project that looked like this.